Wash your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know you.
Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to my channel. So I'm going to talk about me being 32, about to be 33, January 6th. Capricorns, what's up, y'all? Also have Aquarius, but that's another talk for another time in regards to birth chart and astrology and synastry and stuff like that, right? So let me get to the point. All right, so yes, I am about to be 33 years old with no children. And my experience so far with life, I'm going to tell you why that is and why I'm holding off. First, I haven't met that right partner that I feel that would be a great father. I'm very picky with that. For me, I was born 1991. Yes, 90s baby. Millennials, what's up, y'all? I was in the foster care system. My mom had like nine of us, 6 girls, 3 boys. When I was put into the foster care system, I do remember it. Like I remember it a little bit, like from ages. My memories start from age 2. I remember certain things about not feeling secure. I do remember moving around a lot. And then my mom, who adopted me, I knew her since I was like age 3, and she finally adopted me, my twin, and my brother. She adopted us when we hit like around 9 years old. So I got adopted in 2000, and she's a single mother. She's a 40s baby. She passed away in 2018. My biological mom also passed away. So both of my mothers passed away. And I do remember my biological father being around helping my biological mother. I feel like he did a little bit more than she did in regards to like showing me and my twin sister affection and attention. My mom, she was, dealing with addictions in regards to drugs. I do remember her being sweet. I never witnessed her being mean to me. I do remember like night routines and stuff like that. So I would really say that I'm adamant about having children right now is because of my upbringing. And now how the world is, it's a lot going on. You see what's going on out there. So it's very difficult. There's a lot of single mothers. I'm from New York City, so I witnessed a lot of single mothers. Like my mom, who adopted me, she was a single mom. My birth mom wasn't a single. Eventually my father had to, move on from the situation. But I'm still learning to forgive him because he walked away. I feel like when I turned 16, me and my twin sister, when I found out my birth mom passed away, he could have stepped in and like at least be there, be a father, give me advice. Because I was 16 years old, I wasn't dating. I was into boys, like I had crushes, but I wasn't active, like dating and being, some people, they be losing their virginity very, very young. But that's another story for another time. But I was a tomboy around that time. I just needed advice. And I wanted him to be there, So that eventually in my late teens, early 20s, I started seeking love from like different, I would say guys that would show me attention. And it's fucked up because you also have to realize like men out here prey on young girls, like young women. If you're like in your late teens, early 20s, these men out here will prey on you. So that's my advice to the late teens and the early 20-year-olds. Be careful with these guys out here because I've been through a lot. Like these guys will manipulate and it's disgusting. Now being 32 and wiser, and I'm looking at my past and see how things played out, it was really, really sick. My longest relationships, I would say, only last 2 years. I never been through like a 3-year, 4-year because I'm quick to learn from it. I feel like in my life, I learn from my relationships because it teaches me about myself, what it is I have to heal within myself. So, yeah, some of them didn't end well. Like, some of them were traumatic, like, abusive. I've been through it all, okay? And I also was, like, sexually abused by my adopted brother. So, when I was, like, 14, 15, so that traumatized me, and I gave up on myself in my late teens, early 20s. Like, I was very depressed. And yeah, I'm now learning from it. I'm growing wiser from it. I'm very, very picky now. Very picky. In regards to dating, like I'll date and give people chances, but I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Like there's no growth. Like I want that power couple vibe. Like, and I want to take things very, very slow. It's like I gotta see you as my friend first, and then we can grow into something. Because I always rushed into relationships, and it just never worked out for me. I'm like, I'm really not ready for this. And I start noticing red flags, and it's like I want to grow. Like I'm the type, like I want a business partner, friend, lover type relationship. I do think about marriage here and there. Some days is more at its peak. Like I wish I was married at this, but it got to be with the right person because I can't not just choose anybody. I'm always growing and evolving, and I expect my partner to do the same. We living in times where it's hard for people to communicate their emotions. Sometimes it's hard for me to communicate my emotions, and what I used to do, like in my late teens, early 20s, I used to be very codependent on guys to tell me, like, what's going on with you. This and that. Like, oh, you don't want to be my girlfriend. Like, you don't want to be my boyfriend. I'll be your girlfriend. I used to be like that. And now I'm not like that no more. It's like some dudes from the past will come back to try to recant. No, it's like you were a lesson. I love you. And I wish you the best, love and light. But I took all that I need to learn from you, and it's time for me to move on. Like I've been through a lot of trauma, so it's like I'm still healing from that. I'm learning from that. I'm not as depressed as I was in my late teens, early 20s. Like I used to be very, very, very depressed to the point where I was like giving up on life. I was giving up on myself, and then I had to wake up. I went through a spiritual awakening like 3 weeks before my adopted mom passed away. I didn't know what that was. It was a different feeling. This was on Labor Day, Juve. Everybody from New York know about Juve, and from other countries that celebrate Carnival, right? So the night before is always a party. People throwing paint, oil, dressing up, and that night I was supposed to go out, and I just had a epiphany, a change of not going out. Something told me to stay inside and talk to my spirit, be to myself, and that day was very interesting. It sounded like somebody was crying in the home, but it was my mom laughing, but it sounded like crying. But that day I was like, something is off. I did have an edible before this awakening, but it gave me an enlightenment to something new. That was my first awakening in 2018. I had another one, and I would say last year, 2022, when I broke up with my ex. He's in the Marines and stuff like that. So I went through that because I'm like, something feels off. And then I had another awakening when I dated another Marine that knew my ex. So that was a long story. I went through a lot of that. But that person really woke me up to what's going on, how people can be. Some people just don't fucking care about other people. They string them along. He gave a little bit of narcissism. But I really feel like in regards to him, it was a lot of psychological and emotional abuse instead of just living in his truth. Because I'm very accepting, so that made me very upset. But it taught me something I need to work in myself because I feel like he triggered me. And I'm like, okay, so what is it that triggered me so much about him? Especially, he lied and stuff like that, right? So I've been through a lot. And I also been through exes that, yeah, gave me STD. And yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I was in like a lot of pain, and it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I had to learn about myself a lot. And I'm like, okay, instead of pointing fingers at people, 3 is pointing right back at us, right? So 3 is pointing right back at me. And I'm like, okay, what is it about my vibration and my energy or what I'm trying to save within someone else about this a connection that's no longer serving me? Because you can't teach people to do things. You can't force people to do things. You give people knowledge, but some people's going to take it, some people's not. And I'm like, yo, I'm learning too. Like, and I don't want to judge people because I used to be judgmental and all of that. But I'm like, judging you and hurting you hurts me, I used to be like, oh, this person hurt me, I'm going to hurt them. Not in regards to cheating, though, but in regards to, like, exposing them about certain things. And it's not right. And I had to learn that. So this year, 2023, has been a very learning experience for me. I gained new employment, and I started, like, being more secure with myself. And I said, it's time for me to live more in my truth. And when I one day become a mom, I want to be very transparent with my children. So a lot of people tell me like, oh, you could be a mother or whatever, you'll be a great mom, you know. And I know I will, I know, but there's some things I still got to work on. And I want to meet that partner too, that wants to be around, wants to make me, you know, the mother of his children. Like, that's very important, because guys out here have a lot of baby mamas, and it's crazy. Like, they don't love them. They don't like, in how a man feels about the woman of his child, the mother of his children. I feel like sometimes that affects how he feels for the children. That's for some men, not all. So, but some men like, oh, you know, I don't love this B, so I don't know, I don't have a connection with my children because of that B. And you know, some men do think like that. Some men don't. And men who don't think like that and they still be a part of their children's life and leave impact and help their children grow and evolve, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all the MVPs too. So your sacrifices and your love don't get unnoticed, okay? In regards to me, some people may unnotice it, but look, you will always be blessed spiritually, okay? Because remember, energy is real. I don't know if you ever touch something and it shocks you. It's because your energy, you know, so it's gonna shock you. But because when I talk about energy, people get confused. Some people don't resonate with it, because some people don't really believe in anything. They're just thinking they're just living and just walking around in this vessel, but it starts within us first. All right, so I had to learn whatever I'm going through within and how I'm coming off to the world. Some people is going to misunderstand you. Some people are not going to understand you, and that's okay. You're going to resonate with people that do understand you. And yeah, I'm very different. I like to help people. Like, I want to give advice, but in order to give advice, I have to be the walking proof, the truth. And that's with everyone. And I want to be that for my children. And I know I'm going to be a mother that's very overprotective. I know that's not good, because I've been through a lot. So I'm going to be very, 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 very overprotective. So I'm going to be very overprotective. And that might cause my children to rebel. I was a little bit of a rebellious child, and teenager, but I wasn't to the point where I would disrespect my mom. No, it was, it's because I just wanted to learn about the world. And I honestly wish my adopted mom was a little bit more transparent with me, because I had to learn by experience about certain things, right? But my mom was a 40s baby, you know. She was a little bit overprotective, but I can see why. I can see why. Yeah, so she was very wise. I'm going to do a separate video about her, because she really sacrificed a lot. And she took me, my twin sister, and my brother, and my other sister. My other sister's from another biological family, but that's my little sister, and she did a lot for people. My birth mom, I do remember her, but little certain things. Sometimes I learn about her through my biological siblings and family and things like that. However, the impact isn't as strong as my adopted mom, because my adopted mom raised me since I was 3 years old, and she finally adopted me when I was 9. And since she's a 40s baby, I'm like an old soul to some people, because I listen to old school music, loving music. Like, I really don't resonate with people from my generation like that, especially the millennials. Sometimes I learn, you know, I put my foot in that water, and I still learn from each generation, because everybody has knowledge from each generation, even the older generation. So I feel like we living in times where there's so much division, and, oh, you know, if you're not this religion, or if you're not this race, if you don't believe in this type of politics, then you're not us. And it's just mean. Like, we don't got to be mean. Let's learn to accept each other's differences and take each knowledge from. That's like me learning spirituality. I'm a spiritual person. I don't place myself in one religion. I actually study all of them, especially if it's of love and light, how to get through with the light of your higher self, and how to, you know, manage the dark shadows of ourselves, because we have to balance that. Okay, so I learned that along the way. And a lot of people just don't resonate with me like that. So far I've met a few that do. I'm the type of person that like to be to myself, but in regards to children, that's a lot of work. I commend you, mothers. Like, I really do. Like, you are strong to raise a child, especially when you want your child to be sane, healthy. You want your child to make an impact in this world. I get it. And I want to be that type of mother. I want to raise a child that leaves impact, because I know I'm going to leave impact, because I had to force myself to believe that, because I never used to believe I was worthy. I used to be very down about myself. And this is why I'm adamant about having children, because it's a lot. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit.